On site at Marshall's Corners, gonna do a traverse in here to look at a showing called the Galena vein. This is at the east end of the property, and it's an occurrence that is listed in the Ontario Geological Survey's mineral deposit inventory. And at Marshall's Corners, there are in fact two listed occurrences in the Ontario mineral deposit inventory: the Galena vein, which is this showing that I'm going to visit now, and up in the hills there is another MDI known as the silver vein. And that's another traverse altogether, and I'm gonna have to get some GPS data on that occurrence's location before I head back in there, because not easy to find. It's been a while since anyone's worked in here, and it's considerably overgrown. Now, this project has a history of exploration dating back really to the early days. The discovery here was first reported, I think, in 1906. And there have been a number of operators that have taken a look at it through the years, and during different times of economic cycles have stepped away. And in fact, there's a family, the Marshall family, this is in Marshall's Corners, who curated the project in those times of economic slowdown, and they owned a diamond drill and filled in some of the missing data with their own drilling program. And what we've done now is we've taken all of those logs and compiled them into a digital format, so we can take a look at them in our GIS software and model them with a modern eye, you know, to take a look at this work with a Fretch. The last filed assessment work was 2005. So it's been a while. So the rock exposure starts here, and I guess there's a fault in the creek here, and this is part of it. So what we'll do first is we'll go along the bottom portion here, and I'm gonna show you how far you have to go to get to the actual working. So, you know, spot one here, you've got some outcropping. Not sure if that's ever been I'm sure it has been sampled. And we've got quite a few maps, but the in situ state of the site is a little different than we have mapped, in the sense that the maps show, of course, they had drill pads, and they had stripped the bedrock, and it's not the case anymore. It's all grown back, so you have to really kind of hunt and pick and find your way in. I'm going to try not to fall into a hole here. This would be a good visit with rubber boots. You'd think I'd have known that already, having been here before, crossing the creek. And we're going to come up on Mallard Lake. That's the name of the lake just ahead of us. So you think you missed it, right? Well, in fact, you think there's nothing here. That's what you'd think. Small pit here. I'm just starting my route tracking with my GPS on my watch. So point one is this small pit. Point one is this small pit. Okay, now here is the working from the Galena vein, MDI, number one with the Ontario government. What we're looking at here. I just took a bunch of still photos there, which we'll see if I can use in WebODM to create a model, a digital three-dimensional model of the old working with. Now, I guess it's not clear to me exactly what's going on here, but I believe this was a pit, a mine shaft that's collapsed on one side. And we can't really tell, but down there is where I got some excellent samples, grab samples last year. There's some run of mine down there, waste rock left over, and 1.78% Cu on some mineral waste rock that was visibly mineralized with galena. Now there are some pits in here as well. that the old timers dug. And they're pretty big. Pretty big. Okay, so here's a pit here. And here's another one. So it's considerably overgrown. Okay, so I've cleaned out the trench. a little bit. And I'm just going to walk through here, and we're going to take a look at what we've got. So there's a calcite vein here. Fairly wide. Oh, it's 4 or 5 inch width. I'm not sure where it leads. I haven't, assuming we're following it in here in the trench, but and there's a pit at the end of this trench. Now we're about 10 feet below the ground elevation here in this working, and I've just cleaned out this access way here. And, I'm going to take a series of photos to see if I can do some photogram photos here. There's some idea of what we're looking at here. I'm going to go back in where the Galena pit is. I'm just going to show you that from another perspective. It's a bit hidden. That way. So we were on top of this earlier, now we're down below. Gonna take some pictures here, be right back.